Yes, I'm wearing a basketball tie. I was a basketball coach. My name's Mr. Chu. I call this curriculum bracket geometry, and we're going to talk about the volume of rectangular prisms today. Make sure you like this video, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X, and subscribe over here to my, there'll be a link over here. Subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can see more of my videos. All right, so I had a couple challenge problems earlier today from another video that I'd done, and I asked you to work them. So if I want to find the volume, find the volume of a rectangular prism. Remember, a rectangular prism just means that it has a base of a rectangle and all four faces, and then the other base are all rectangles as well. So we have to be given the width, the height, and the length to find the volume. So in this case, we have volume equal. We got to find the base area times the height. So the very first thing we need to do is find the base area. I set this up like this because the base area is the length times the width, and when you when you have more complex problems, the base area is not going to be as simple. And there are problems that give you the base area, and you need to understand the formula. So I can just take and find the base area by substituting 7 inches and 5 inches and multiplying them. The length is 7 inches. The width is 5 inches. Remember, when you're multiplying numbers, there's an algebraic property that says that you can multiply in any order. So we put the numbers together. 7 times 5, I used a raised dot. And then I put the two dimensions together. Inches times inches ends up being 35 inches squared. Area will always be in square inches, and this is called base area. Now we take and we use this formula now, substituting my 35 inches where my capital B is. So there is my formula. I substitute using the substitution property of equality. Substitute what I just found there, and times the height, which happens to be 4 inches here. Now I use that community property of multiplication again, which says that I can reorder these so that the numbers can be multiplied and the two dimensions can be multiplied. Well, 35 times 4 is 140. Inches squared times inches is inches cubed. Volume will always be cubic units, and it is. And area will always be square units, and it is. So the answer is 140 inches cubed is the total volume there. All right, so in a more complex problem, a word problem, we're asked to find the width of a rectangular prism if the volume is given at 360 yards cubed, the length is 6 yards, and the height is 12 yards. So we have to use a formula, volume equals base area times height, but remember the base area is the length times the width. So here's where you got to tweak that a little bit. So since I know that the base area is length times width, I can put length times width right here. Now, some students will say, well, why didn't we do that from the beginning? Because other shapes that aren't rectangular prisms are more complex, and you can always use this volume formula for every polyhedron. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's substitute into this equation. So instead of a V, I'm going to put my 360 cubic yards. My length is 6 yards. My width, I don't know. And my height is 12 yards. So I can take and rewrite this again and use the community property of multiplication to get my two numbers together. And then I'm going to get my yards times my yards, and then there's a W here on the end. So this is 360. Now I'm going to write this as yards times yards times yards, just so that you can see the canceling. 6 times 12 is 72 yards times width. I need to just get the W by itself. So I use the division property of equality to divide both sides by everything except the W. So it's 72 yards times yards, or 72 yards squared. All right, so once we've done this now, we can cancel out common factors. Yard over yard is 1, so it's gone. Yard over yard is 1, so it's gone. 72 over 72 is 1, so it's gone. And 1 times 1 times 1 times W over 1 times 1 is W. So I got my W there, which is my width, which is what I want. So the yards cancel, because yard over yard is 1. The yards cancel, and I'm going to have yards in my dimension, which is what I want, because I know the width will be in yards. And then I take 72 and divide it into 360. 72 will not go into 3 or 36, but it'll go into 360 5 times. 5 times 2 is 0, carry the 1. 5 times 3 is 35 plus 1. And that 0 means that it did come out to 5 yards. So I could say up here then that W equals 5 yards. And to check that, you would just take 6 times 12 times 5, and you will get 360. All right, so if you need to go back to the original lesson, there'll be a link up here to take you back to it. Down here will be a playlist of other geometry formulas in bracket geometry. I'm Mr. Chu. I want to help you understand the math. So like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.